here's a report from Luke Rosiak over at the Daily Wire. The headline reads, Tennessee school put would-be shooter in classroom, told parents to become left-wing activists if they objected. Then Luke's subheading reads, parents say school district falsely blamed state lawmakers and directed them to become activists at the state capitol where a gun restrictions debate was going on. So here's what Luke reported. Just months after 3 children were slaughtered at a Christian school in the state's capital, a Tennessee public school district returned a student to the classroom who last year threatened to shoot up his school, putting him in close quarters with students who had testified against him in court. 9th graders at Giles County High School in a rural community about an hour south of Nashville showed up for the new school year this August to find that the boy who 16 months prior was arrested for his plan to shoot up their middle school had rejoined them in high school. About 7 of them had testified against him in court last year, detailing how he had a list of students he intended to kill, had a date picked out, and was running drills to practice the act. Now he was back, and they believed had an additional motive for carnage. And by that, they mean that these students had testified against him. So that means when this kid was a seventh grader, he made plans, made a hit list, and threatened to shoot up his middle school. He's removed from that school, but 16 months later, he rejoins those same students at a different school, this time as a freshman in high school. Now, why on earth would a school district do something so imbecilic? When parents raised their concerns to the school district, it falsely stated that laws from the Republican-controlled State House were to blame for the situation. So, right there, you can immediately see that this is political. When the parents raise their concerns, they're told it's because of the Republican state legislators. Nothing to do with safety, but politics. And listen to this. Parents say the school told them to become activists in this special session where Democrats were pushing for gun control if they had a problem with it. They blame the state Republicans. And just keep in mind, this is after the Nashville school shooting. And then they tell the parents the solution to their problem, the boy who wants to shoot up the kids, is to go push for gun control. Go be an activist, they say. And this is in Middle Tennessee, folks. In Middle Tennessee. Parents say handling of the incident sent the message that the top priority isn't stopping school shootings, but rather pushing gun restrictions. They feared that the school was willing to put parents through a nightmare in order to get them to join with left-wing activists protesting in Nashville. So, just to be clear, this isn't my conclusion or Luke Rosiak's conclusion, but the conclusion of the parents that the school district is intentionally leaving a deadly student in the classroom just to push the gun control garbage. So then they make up a lie. The school system won't explain why it apparently failed, with the district saying the high school wasn't aware of the student's recent disciplinary record. So we're supposed to believe that the high school they just didn't know. They just didn't know anything about a kid who, threatened and listed and planned and practiced shooting up his middle school. I doubt it. There's one mother, Hannah Riley, whose son was tipped off by the would-be shooter who pressed the school for answers. The article says the school system directed her to its outside attorney, Tim Underwood. Riley and her husband asked him how their child was being kept safe, but the attorney, quote, kept wanting to bring in gun rights. The attorney said to them, "If I had it my way, there'd be more gun restrictions. That means even the school district's outside attorney was an activist as well. This same mother also points out that a freshman in high school isn't even old enough to purchase a firearm, which ruins the school district's entire stance. But that is indicative of the genuine effort here. They don't just want to keep guns out of the hands of criminals. They want no citizen anywhere in the United States to have firearms. And I don't have to tell you the historical implications of something like that coming to fruition. Riley said she called the school district this summer to ensure the culprit wouldn't be matriculating at the high school alongside witnesses, but the district ignored her. On the first day of school, her son texted her that the boy was there, and she immediately picked him up. This is ridiculous, and it's stunning that this is a story in one of the freest states in the country. A mother is literally so scared for her son's life, and the school district ignores her and leaves a dangerous student in the classroom on purpose because of political ideology. The principal told Riley that he was unaware of the student's background, even though Riley had reminded the district in advance, and that her son could have an excused absence for his safety. But when she met with the school resource officer days later, she learned that the principal still hadn't even told the security the student's name, she said. So the on-site police officer wasn't even informed. This almost seems like a science fiction story, but unfortunately it's very real. Riley enrolled her son in an out-of-district school at considerable personal costs. When numerous others withdrew their kids from the school, fearing for their lives, it became clear that it would be the subject of controversy at a school board meeting August 17th. The school board, perhaps anticipating the impending uproar, used a parliamentary maneuver to remove the usual public comment portion of the meeting. So now they're dabbling in silencing and suppression. Is this communist China? The local Giles County police captain, Joe Purvis, said that prior to the school shooting threats, the culprit had also been arrested for an unrelated assault in school on May 17th, 2021. He was suspended for the remainder of the school year, Purvis said, a brief 12 days. So it was near the end of the following school year in April 2022 that he was charged with 5 counts of threats of mass violence on school property and 1 count of harassment, Purvis said. In other words, here's another criminal, yet this time a juvenile, who was arrested and then let right back into school. Captain Purvis said, "It frustrates me to no end when people in government just won't accept and acknowledge that they made a mistake. That's all you got to do," Purvis said. "If I've got 20 other kids suffering, the greater good is to remove that kid. I don't get it." Well, Captain Purvis, I do get it, and so do these parents. Their kids are being used as pawns in a political game. And with this delinquent still in Giles County High School, this game has a ticking time bomb, and the blood will be on their hands. To me, this story perfectly illustrates the hypocrisy of the left. But for those of you that are parents, this should put you on the alert. I mean, for those of you living in Giles County, you need to clean house in the next couple elections. You need to file lawsuits against the school district. You need to look into impeachments. And I'm talking all the way up to the top with Graham Stowe or Stout. I'm talking about the school board and Terry Arbogast, the superintendent. Get Don Thomas out of the high school. Get these bloodthirsty, woke pushers away from your kids, and maybe that will take care of this psychotic problem. You probably need some roof repairs. If you feel that water dripping every time it rains, or those shingles are starting to look kind of bad, the sooner you act, the better. So call my friends over at Turner Exteriors for an estimate on your roof today. If you tell them Blake sent you, they'll give you $500 off your new roof. Now, I know the guys and gals over at Turner Exteriors. They do amazing work. You will love the new life they bring to your home.